No other details other than what I shared last night. About 10 o'clock, I was like, I still haven't heard. I didn't want to call, so I just texted Mike real quick. I'm like, oh, everybody's okay. Everybody's doing well. So I got a text back in about 10 minutes and he said everybody was doing great. So I asked him if he wanted me to share it with the team, and he said, yes, please. And I'm like, okay, need more details. Need weights, and they're going to be asking me questions. So then I got the weight, at least. So it sounds like, I think Isabella was just trying to hang on long enough to match Sam.
Yeah. Yes.
2 8-pound plus
close,
baby.
That's right. Close.
I will not be outdone.
She's just
Wait.
waiting for the big snowstorm.
Before we really get into this meeting, I have something I want to say. I have a statement I have to read.
Let's go in the miscellaneous category.
I've been waiting for this.
Sometimes there are people who make us stop in the middle of our hectic but seemingly insignificant everyday lives to scratch our heads and say things like, man, he's one of the smartest people I've ever met. And, geez, what am I doing with my life? Or maybe, if I could be like that, I would give anything. Well, I'm sure that simply by that introduction, the entire audience knows now that we're talking about this morning's honoree, Matthew Lawrence Young. As a freshly minted 26-year-old, he has easily the sharpest intellect of anyone I've ever met in my entire life.
Have you met him?
Before I go any further, I have to thank some people. I would be remiss if I didn't. First, I have to thank Mike Brock for allowing me to share an office with Matt. Perhaps the stupidest decision made in the Department of Development history, particularly for that given hallway, but a great one nonetheless. Next, I have to thank Tim for being so gracious as to moving into an office to share with Vanessa. No offense, Tim. I miss you. But this last 7 months has been life-altering for me.
I'm sure.
Next, I need to thank Laura Thiesing-Fisher, or Fish,
Okay.
for being willing to share that. Finally, I need to thank Sarah for being willing to take on with such vigor the Herculean task of filling the cavernous void that Matt left in the PC when he transitioned to the vaunted reunion giving program to save us from all our fondness. The great poet and writer, Sean Carter, tells us in his latest writings about the Empire State of Mind. Much like in Sean's beloved city of New York, the bright lights will inspire you. So, too, will Matt with his intellect. Though quietly, it is reported in historical American literary circles that on his deathbed, the late, great J.D. Salinger explained that in learning of Matthew Young's existence, he could no longer fend off the cold and dark embrace of death because he did not want to live to see his adored Catcher in the Rye be outwritten by Matt's imminent great American novel. Kanye West tells us that if you were on the highest rift, and you fell off and clung into your life in his grip, Matt would never, ever let you down with his intellect. Recently, I sat down with astronaut Neil Armstrong. In speaking about Matt, he said, if I leapt for mankind, Matt Young would run 5 miles for it. Sean Combs tells us that we should call Matt on the yacht 10 years from now, and he'll still be on top. Yo, he thought he told you that Matt won't stop. Can't stop. That's why he's so smart. In summary, Matt inspires all of us with his intellectual prowess. We are all lucky to call him colleague. Thankfully, none of us call him friend. And so I will leave you with this parting thought. Go Saints.